Hello there, my dear BYJU'S family, and welcome to today's session. Today I have something very interesting for you. As you can see, I'm going to talk about 10 career options if you are good at English. Now, for those of you who've just finished their 10th, I know you're seriously thinking about your career, and all the others, this session will just help you open your mind and perspective to all the different career options that are out there, not just focus on the mainstream careers that everybody keeps talking about. So let's get right to it. Now, here's a quote from Nelson Mandela. It says, "Without language, one cannot talk to people and understand them. One cannot share their hopes and aspirations, grasp their history, appreciate their poetry, and savor their songs." Now, this applies to every language, I know, but I'm going to be talking about English because I am your English teacher. But listen to what is being said. You know, we consume so much every day, be it stories that we watch on television, through films that we read, stories that we hear from people that we talk to, and all of this teaches us so much about life, history, experience, what it means to be on this earth, in this world, right? And to appreciate all of this, just appreciate being human, we need to have language, correct? So I am going to give you some offbeat career paths that you can think about if you are good at English, or if you have good communication skills, or if you love expressing yourself, right? Here we go. Number one is content writing. Now, this is quite straightforward, and I know a lot of you already know about this. For those of you who don't, like I just said, we consume so much content every day, and there's content in a lot of different forms, be it scripts for movies like I just talked about, be it educational content, something like what we do, be it content for entertainment, blogs, stories and whatnot that people put online, be it content for videos that people use for vlogging these days. I know you spend a lot of time on social media, so there's content everywhere. And being good at language helps you write that content, and it's very important for your content to sound nice, to be catchy. That's when people are going to pay attention to what you've written, right? So good communication skills, good language skills helps you present content in a way that is appealing to people. So content writing is definitely a career that you can consider, and there's a lot of scope here. Like I said, many different industries require content writers, and I know there's a lot of talk about artificial intelligence taking over, but it can take over to some extent, but to be able to write human stories, you need a person who's lived through that human experience. So humans will always be valued in content writing, and that is something that you can definitely think about if you like expressing yourself, if you like putting stories out there. And again, like I said, there's content involved even in education. Whatever subject you're teaching, medium of communication tends to be English these days. Your textbooks are in English. So even if you want to consider content writing for education, having good English skills is always a plus. Alrighty. Here's number two. Public relations, PR. Some of you might have heard of this. What it means to be someone who's involved in public relations is that you take care of the relationship of an individual or a company with everyone else. So consider this: if there's a celebrity and you're doing their PR, that means you put out a certain image of that celebrity for the masses, for media, for common people to consume. What that does is that makes that person more appealing to the public. You help them put out the right kind of picture, because being in the public eye is not easy. A lot of people have a lot of different things to say about you. There's fake news around everywhere. So having good PR is very important, so that people get the right kind of information about you from you. So you can do this for an individual, like I said, some celebrity, a famous person. You can do it for companies. Companies also require PR. And this involves a lot of, talking to the media, putting posts on social media, organizing events, all of which requires a lot of communication and, again, putting things out in English. So having good English skills definitely will help you in this career path, and it's a very lucrative career. Everybody hires somebody to do their PR. It's very important, and so something you can really look into and consider. Next, we have journalism and media. So this also is kind of an offshoot of what I've been talking about in terms of content writing. If you're into journalism, you will have to put out a lot of stories for the newspaper. Nowadays, you even have websites, news channels have websites that you put up stories on. Or you might even have to interview people, present news on television. All of this requires proficiency in a language. Of course, you can do this in any other language as well. There's Hindi news, there's English news, there's news in your regional languages as well. But if you're good at English, pursuing journalism and putting out your stories, your research, your findings, your investigation, whatever it is, in English, it's a good career option for you to consider. Now, I know knowing English is not the only thing required here. You should also be concerned about social issues. You need to have this interest for going out and finding out what really happened. You need to have an interest for wanting to help people, wanting to bring out issues and share them with the public. These are the main requirements of wanting to get into journalism and media, but knowing English is always a plus point. So, English will help you in this career as well. Next, we have education. Like I've said so many times, the one subject that you need to know to understand all your other subjects, barring languages, of course, is English. And because nowadays, due to globalization and whatnot, a lot of people want to travel, go abroad, maybe look for career options abroad, and their way of doing so is pursuing their higher education in countries like the United States or UK. And knowing English or being good at English always helps. It makes it a lot easier. There's just one less thing to struggle for. So not only education in terms of getting into a career of education, but even I would say in terms of pursuing higher education abroad, knowing English is a very important skill. But because we're talking about careers right now, you can get into education very easily if you're good at English. Another very interesting thing is a lot of countries want English teachers, especially countries in Asia, be it like Korea or China. And there are a lot of job opportunities for English teachers in these countries. And a lot of people actually go abroad and teach English. So there's always going to be demand for English. The more you see like around you right now, globally, the kind of content people are consuming, discussions that happen at a world stage, all of them take place in English. It's just become convenient for everybody to converse in this language. So going forward, it's just going to become that much more important. And like it or hate it, it's just become a necessity. So if you are good at English, then education, the field of education will have a lot of opportunities for you, for sure. Next, we have social media and blogging. Now, social media has taken over the world, as we know. I know a lot of you spend time on social media. I mean, this is also one form of social media, YouTube. And I know that a lot of you follow vlogs and blogs. Now, it's not that somebody just randomly comes online and puts out this content. No, a lot of thought goes into it. And even if you see a lot of your favorite YouTubers, they don't write their own scripts, they don't create their own content, they hire people to do it for them, they're just the face of it. So this is also a very lucrative field, job opportunity that you can consider. You can do it for yourself, you can absolutely write your own scripts, put out your own content, write your own blogs, or you can even do it for somebody else. And there are big companies now, thanks to social media, like literally social media, creating content on social media has made people so successful that they're now running companies, so they need to hire people to do all the work for them. And that is something that you can do if you are good at English. Event management and anchoring. So I know you've been to at least one event in your life where you've seen someone holding a mic, coming on stage and entertaining all of you. That is anchoring. And because, again, like I said, so many of our conversations at a national stage or at a global stage happen in English, a lot of requirement comes in for English anchoring. And I've also done this part-time, back in the day when I was in college and I needed a side income. Anchoring was something I used to do quite frequently because if you know how to speak in English, it's easy for you. You don't have to think a lot. They just tell you all the different things that they've planned for the event. You just have to go on stage if you have the confidence, hold the mic and just talk to your audience. So anchoring, it's fun. Again, apart from being good at English, you also need confidence and stage presence, but that is something that you can work on. So if you have the English part of it sorted, then that is something you can easily develop. Event management, again, requires you to talk to a lot of vendors, to put things together, to understand whoever you're organizing an event for, you need to understand what their requirements are. So all of this requires, again, a lot of communication, which English will help you accomplish. All right. Then we have author, editor. Now, this is a very obvious one, I know. If you are good at English, if you like writing, if you have a creative bent of mind, then you can become an author, write your own stories, write your own poetry, whatever it is, get it published. And if you blow up and become famous, then nothing like it. Editor is also another great option. All authors, anybody who writes anything, any piece of written content needs somebody to take a look at it and edit it, to make it crisper, to fix mistakes, to fix errors. So editing is also something you can do if you are good at English. Then we have translation. This is a very interesting one. Obviously, you need to know two languages to be able to translate. And I know as Indians, we are all at least bilingual, which means we know at least two languages, one of them being our mother tongue and the other being mostly English. So if you can read Hindi samajh mein aati hai, then you can translate that text or whatever it is to English, because this has a lot of demand, especially in literature. A lot of literature that we read today, is written, a lot of classic books that we read, they were written in a different language and were translated by someone. And let me tell you, translating is so difficult because every language has its own essence and a lot of it gets lost in translation. So to keep that essence alive, you need to be really good at the language that you are translating from and to. So let me tell you, this is not easy, but there's great demand for it, even for web series or movies. You have to keep translating the dialogues in different languages because South Indian movies need to be translated to, let's say, Hindi to reach to a wider audience, or English to have an impact globally. So, and now because RRR winning an Oscar and everything, there's going to be great demand for this. So knowing two languages, if you speak any South Indian language, if you understand it, then translating it to English will also become a rather lucrative career option down the line. Okay, then we have number 9. Writing for movies and shows. Again, like the social media thing that I was talking about, it's not that these creators create all their content themselves. Even movies have a huge staff, like a lot of people coming in and pitching in. In fact, some big budget movies actually have multiple writers. So they all sit together, figure out how they want the script to be. Shows that are really famous, that have gone on for 10 seasons or so, have a big team of writers all pitching in their ideas and coming up with a script. So there's always going to be demand for writers. Again, if you are creative, if you're able to put your thoughts down on paper really well, then writing for movies and shows is a great career option. We are all always starved for entertainment. Regardless of how many things we have to watch, we're always excited to watch something new. So this is never going to go out of fashion. This is something that there will always be demand for. So this is something that you can look into. And lastly, advertising and marketing. along the same lines, but I think you need to be a little more creative for advertising and marketing, because you need that one line that is so catchy that will make people buy your product. Think about it right now. When was the last time you saw an ad and you were like, wow, that is so creative? Yeah, and you think about who's written this line. Or if you look at a billboard and you see something written and you look at it and you're like, wow, that's such a nice way of saying it. So catching people's attention, grabbing their attention is a difficult thing to do. If you have a knack for that, and if you're good at language, I mean, you need to be good at language to have a knack for that, then advertising and marketing is a great career option for you. These catchy one-liners, these jingles, these slogans, things that stick with the customer. Coming up with these things is something that will always, again, require a little bit of human intervention. It's not something that's going to be taken over completely by artificial intelligence. So you can also consider this as a career option. Now, again, I've given you 10, but there are so many offshoots of these. And even if you are thinking about mainstream careers, for example, if you want to become a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer, you need to be able to at least understand, I would say, not just basic, advanced English. Because if you're reading judgments, have you seen the judgments that are written by judges? They are so long. A lot of them use very complicated language. So having acumen in this area will always help you in those careers as well. A lot of the best books written in any field are always in English. So English is something that will only upskill you, that will only help you achieve more in life. And I'm not saying that if you're not good at English, you can't achieve anything. That's obviously not true. There's still a lot you can do. But if you develop your English language skills alongside, then opportunities for you are going to be endless. And it's not a very difficult thing to do. So you can just do it on this side. Try to consume more content in English, read good books, read the newspaper in English, and without even realizing it, slowly your vocabulary, your grammar, everything is going to be like a pro. And you at least always have me, so tune into my sessions and we will work together to make sure that your English skills are up to the mark. So there are always new career options coming up. Like I keep saying, the world is ever changing. Things that people used to do 50 years ago, they're not doing anymore. So you need to be able to adapt with the world. And like I've told you, the only way to adapt is to accept what is happening, whether you like it or not. So even if English is taking over the entire world, it's always better to know it than not knowing it. That's it from me today. There's so much content for you here as well. Spoke about content so much today. So do make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the videos and tune in for all the live sessions. This will help you not only in your academic journey but also in life, because we'll have a lot of level up, upskilling sessions otherwise. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't yet, and like the video if you liked it. Take care of yourselves. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.